Okay, but the scripture, because the scripture is telling you right there that what the Lord, for Lord, the Most High will command, and He will sift Israel from among all nations. And this is happening as this kingdom is being destroyed by way of this truth, by way of Esau being revealed for the devil that he is. So as those things, as the mechanics of those things are taking place, He was going to have it to where Israel was going to be sifted in by way of this word, okay, by way of this internet that does the pushing for us, okay. They was going to be sifted in and brought back to being who the understanding of who they truly are by way of the Spirit, man, okay. And all of these things was going to happen prior to the destruction taking place. So so you can't have it to where all of them, you can't have it to where the Israelites is going to come looking like John Shaft, okay? It wasn't just going to come looking like straight up Ephraimites, okay? You was going to have it to where they was going to be sifted, okay, from among all of these different nations, man, okay? So, which goes to show you GMS is the only group dealing with a full deck, man. Okay, we are the only ones dealing with the full entirety of the scriptures. All right. So it says, I will sift the house of Israel from among all nations, like corn is sifted in the sieve, there shall not the least grain fall upon on the earth. Okay. It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say that evil shall not overtake us, nor prevent us. And that's dealing with Nate, dealing with Balu, dealing with General Yohana, and ultimately dealing with the whole 12 tribes of Israel that are doing iniquity by way of laziness, man, by way of being willingly ignorant. And we're going to look at that within the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter right quick, okay? So this is 2 Peter, and then we're going to look at it within the book of Proverbs, okay? Because when you read these different scriptures, you really see you really begin to see the characteristics of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. How they're willingly ignorant, okay? They're lazy, okay? And ultimately, it's a thing of them being the wicked. And you go to where the Most High's got these men out there, and they was going to push this word, man, okay? So 2 Peter is the 3rd chapter, okay? And the 3rd verse, it says, knowing this first, that they shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. So when you have these individuals walking after their own lust, they're trying to fulfill the desires of their own heart, okay, making it within Esau society. That's one of the main things that Jake wants to do, man, because they see that they're in what you know as a position of hell, okay. They see they're in a position of servitude, okay, and they want to quickly get out of that position of servitude. So they was gonna do what they would if they can get a certain amount of money from Esau, they was gonna do that. Whether they was gonna make certain agreements and certain covenants with Esau by way of the 501c3 tax exemptions, etc., etc. They was gonna do that so they can have one leg up above their so-called fellow Israelite man, because we're in a position of servitude, okay? So by way of the desires of their own hearts, the lust of their own hearts, they was gonna do wicked, man. Cut corners in terms of this doctrine, okay? Remove certain things within these scriptures so they could be what? They could be appeasing to the rulers that be, okay? That's why the scripture says what it says there, knowing this first, that they shall come in the last days scoffers, and it premises it with scoffers, because what couples all of these individuals all together that are working with Esau, that are working on the same time on the same team as Esau, is that they have an inert, okay, characteristics to come up against the truth of the Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They have almost unquantifiable desire to stop this word from coming out, man. That's why the scripture says what it says: ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do, man. Because the lust of Esau is to do what? Is to stop this truth from coming out, because the truth says that he's the wicked. Okay, the truth says that actually the birthright doesn't pertain to the so-called Jews that you have out there within the land of Israel. It actually pertains to the real Israelites that were carried out into captivity by way of slave ships. And now you're going to have it to where now they're going to understand this word. They're going to be sifted back in. Okay, they was going to be grafted back in. They was going to abduct this truth back, and the Most High was going to abduct them back in. And ultimately you was going to have it to where they was going to be the rulers of the world that you're going to have established pretty much soon. Okay. Those going to be the rulers of what's going to come after the so-called World War III that you're seeing manifesting itself out there within Eurasia right now. There was going to be what's going to come out of that. Here he's got Esau. He's trying to establish the so-called New World Order out of that. You wasn't going to have that. You was going to have a new world order wherein dwelleth righteousness, and you're going to have it to where the people that are at the bottom of this society was going to be at the top of that society. Okay. So it says here, 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter and the 3rd verse, it says, knowing this first, They shall come in the last days, scoffers walking after their own lust. So they're walking after their own desires. Okay, I believe the words that Esau, I believe that the words that Nate used was his mind is upon bigger things. Okay, now what's more bigger than the kingdom? Here it is, he's trying to establish something bigger than the kingdom. He's trying to establish something of a higher esteem than the kingdom. What's more esteemable than the kingdom? Okay? Ain't nothing that you're going to set up within Esau's society that's going to be destroyed. It's going to be on a higher level than what the Most High is going to establish. That's why the scripture says what it says. How that you're supposed to liken yourself unto a dead person within there. If you're dead in your house, you're going to rise in your house. Okay? You're just going to liken, you're going to fashion your life in a way that you ain't supposed to be loving the ways that's within this society. You ain't supposed, the scripture says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Because what's going to happen with the world that you have right now, it's going to be burnt, man. It's going to be burnt. So here it is, you work 20 odd years to pay off this mortgage. House is going to be burnt. Okay? Here it is, you done work to build this whole building up, this crystal cathedrals up that Nate's trying to build. And what's going to happen to those cathedrals? Are we going to have it to where the chariots is going to come and it's going to beam up the cathedrals, and then when the Most High cleanses the earth, it's going to bring those cathedrals down? No, that's all going to be destroyed, man. So your efforts is supposed to be building this spiritual house, man, because that spiritual house, that's going to go on the chariots. We seen that within the book of Amos, the 9th chapter, or I'm about to get into it, okay? So the Most High is having it to where the things of the spirit that are being built within the spirit, new rulership, okay, new control of the earth, okay, righteousness. Those are the things that's going to be transpired into the kingdom that's going to come after Esau's falling. That's what's going to be transferred. But whatever you're going to build up in the physical, that's all going to be burnt, man. Okay. All those experiences that you're going to build prior to Esau's kingdom being destroyed, that's all going to be burnt. That's going to be forgotten about. That's the way of the old life, man. Right? But the way of the new life, righteousness is going to be the end thing, man. And who's more righteous than the men that you go out there diligently pushing this word, okay? Telling you that this man's going to be destroyed. Telling you that the Most High is going to come back, he's going to destroy Esau, and is going to be established a new rulership. Okay? Who the men that are doing it? The men of Great Millstone. Going to show you that the Most High has never had it to where this word was going to be silenced. She was going to have it to where the word was going to be out there within the corners. That's why, no pictures please. That's why the scripture says that thy teachers are not going to be removed into a corner anymore. Thy teachers shall speak, man. They're going to preach, man. Okay? So let's get back onto this. 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. And this is the 3rd verse. It says, for they shall come in the last days, scoffers, walking after their own lust. Okay? All right? Their mind is upon bigger things, they're on high things, etc., etc. Okay? And saying, where is the promise of his coming? So in his mind, he's like, look, these prophecies ain't coming to pass because he's willingly ignorant. Okay? If you're willingly ignorant, you ain't going to see what's happening out there within the Middle East. Your mind's going to be closed out to that. Your mind's going to be closed out to that. That's why these people, they're all up in trance within that social media. Okay? They're all up in trance within that new Babylonian way of doing and thinking, man. They're all up into that. Okay, having it to where they did the contactless payments, they accepted that. There ain't no problem with them. They're all up into that. Not knowing that was going to be a system of control that they're going to use pretty soon. They was going to have it to where what you call contactless payments was going to be the standardized ways of payments. And they was going to have it to where the only means of accessing that standardized way of payments is having an implant, a chip implanted within you. Okay? They was going to have it to where these elite banking families was going to have it to where chaos was going to spew up. Okay? You're going to have chaos spewing up, and the only solution was going to be that chip. So that no man can buy or sell save that he has that chip, man. Okay? Worshipping the image of this beast. That comes by way of what? That comes by way of being willingly ignorant. Because if you're awoken to this truth, then you know that everything within this society, it's all wicked, man. Okay, it's all wicked and they're always going to be burnt, man. Okay, so let's go back onto the scriptures right here within the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers have fell asleep, all things continue as they did from the beginning of creation. So we should just build, okay? All right, we should just establish ourselves within this society, okay, and we'll be all right. That's the spirit, that's the vibration of these people. They're like, look. we had it to where we were catching hell. Okay, now Esau's had it to where his yoke that was upon us, it's still hard, but we can almost forget about it. In other words, you're in a state of being mentally enslaved and not physically enslaved. Because you go back 200 years ago, Jake was getting lynched, Jake was getting burnt. Okay, But now you got it to where Esau's kind of backed off now into a more passive-aggressive stance. Okay, he's more ruling from a distance now. So you got it to where the Israelites are like, look, where's the promise of the Lord's coming, man? We gonna call all of this hell, nothing's happened now. Let's just get comfortable within this society. But see, all of that comfortability is gonna be absolutely detrimental, okay, to your mental makeup when the Lord brings the hell upon this thing, upon this place. Because what's gonna come is the time of Jacob's trouble, man. What's going to come is the time of Jacob's trouble, but hey, the scripture says he's going to be saved out of it. So who's going to be saved out of it? The men that were diligently seeking to please Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai by way of coming out here, teaching this word, getting into this word, telling the people they're going to, hey, this is what's going to come up on this place. Okay, if you don't get right with the Most High, you're going to be destroyed. Okay? Let's carry on. And saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they did from the beginning of creation. For this, they are willingly ignorant, right? That the word of the Most High were of old, of the earth standing out of waters and in waters. Okay, so it goes into something else, but pretty much that's the point here on that. So let's go now to the book of Proverbs, the first chapter. And this is one of my favorite scriptures. Okay, Proverbs, the first chapter. And I'll start from the 20th verse. Okay, so Proverbs 1:20 says, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. So the means of making good, accurate decisions, okay, the means of pleasing the Most High, which is wisdom ultimately, because if you're displeasing the Most High, you're not dealing wise, my man. Okay, because any nation, any persons that have displeased the Most High in prior times, they have had grievous judgments brought upon them. Okay, talking about the Babylonians, grievous judgment. Talking about them old Hamitic nations that were heavy upon Jacob, they've had grievous judgment come upon them. And ultimately Esau, when you read about the judgment that's going to come upon Esau, who's had the most hell inflicted upon the Israelites, there's going to be a great judgment come upon them people, man. Okay? To get back onto the scriptures, you was going to have it to where the wisdom was going to cry out within the streets, and the wisdom was going to tell you, look, you're supposed to be doing this, or you ain't supposed to be doing that. And thereby knowing those things, you was going to be able to make good judgment, okay? And that was going to be brought out there within the streets. Okay, she crieth in the chief places of concourse, in the openings of the gates, in the city crying, she crieth, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And that's the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. How long are the simple going to love simplicity? Now we got the answer for that. We got the answer for that. We go to the book of Isaiah, the 6th chapter, and I'll start, I believe I can start from the first verse. Okay, Isaiah 6:1. Okay. Book of Isaiah 6, not 1. I'll go straight to the point. It's the 9th verse. So then he said unto me, go tell this people, hear ye indeed. So they see the men of the Lord out there teaching this word. Okay, hear ye indeed, but understand not. So they understand this scripture because why? Because they're willingly ignorant. The lust of their own hearts, the desires is to amass wealth within the kingdom, okay, that's ruled by their enemies. Okay, so thereby they wasn't going to understand the word, man. Okay, right? Hear ye indeed, but understand not. Okay, see ye indeed, but perceive not. Okay, make the heart of this people fat, lest they make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand and convert and be healed. And what comes to mind is the scripture within the book of Romans, the 11th chapter on the 7th verse, where it is said, but the election have obtained it, and you had it to where the rest were blinded. I forget the word and the exact wording, but you're gonna have it to where the elect was gonna understand this word, but the rest of the people is gonna be blinded to this word, man. Okay, so make the heart of these people fat, make their ears heavy, and shut up their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their hearts. Then said I, O Lord, how long? Which is the question that I posed when we was out there within the book of Proverbs, the first chapter on the 20th verse. Okay. Then I said, how long? And he answered me, until the cities be laid waste, okay, and the houses without inhabitants, cities will be laid waste without inhabitants, and the houses without man, and the land will be utterly destroyed. So what we can decipher from that scripture is this, okay? You was going to have it to where this word was going to go out there, but you was going to have it to where the vast majority of the people within the 12 tribes of Israel was going to be ignorant to the word, okay, willingly ignorant to the word. And thereby, you was gonna have a distinction between who is the elect of the Most High, or who is regarded as a heathen man. Okay, but you was also gonna have it to where that this truth was gonna be understood right when these missiles fly forth, because the scripture says that when we was in the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, that they was going that all things, they believe that all things continue as they did from the beginning of creation. So if they believe that all things continue from the beginning of creation, when you have it to where a drastic, right, unpredictable stop falls upon these people's heads as a result of their iniquity, then they was going to understand the magnitude of the word. They was going to understand the Lord. Hold on a minute. A higher power had to have done it. You go into where you got atheists out here, okay? When that judgment comes upon it, and here it is, you go into where you got atheists and they be doing all kind of wickedness. When that judgment comes upon them, okay, they was going to realize that it was a superior power that has brought that judgment upon them. Okay, they was gonna see that look, this is gonna be the Most High that's put this judgment upon them. Therefore, that scripture is gonna be that prophecy was gonna be fulfilled, and that they was gonna see, they wasn't gonna perceive right up until the cities be laid waste. But in that moment, in that breath, right, in that realization, in that moment of revelation, they was gonna see that they was gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late. Okay. Here it is, you're going to have to where the strangers of the Most High salvation is going to be the elect men out of it. Okay? They're going to be beamed up by way of them chariots, and they're going to be taken out. And all people, the scripture says that everyone's going to see the coming of the Lord. Okay? Everyone's going to see that. Okay? So here it is, you go to where that's going to be taking place. Okay, you go to where these peons, okay, just like how in the time of Noah, you had it to where the boat was being built, and we're building the spiritual boat right now. Okay? The boat was being built, and they was like, "Now look at this crazy dude," and he was building for hundreds of years, if my memory serves me correct. So he was doing all of that for a lengthy period of time. You had it to where the scoffers walking after their own desires, okay, right? Imagining to amass a certain amount of imagining to attain an eternal wealth, okay. Right, in a wicked society, and I'm gonna make that into a thing right now. These people are trying to amass an eternal wealth in a society that's gonna be destroyed, man. Okay, and that's the same thing you had it in Noah's time. You had it to when the people around Noah, they was trying to obtain a wealth, an eternal wealth in a wicked society. So they was marrying, okay, because people back then, they didn't marry for emotions. They married for a certain advantages. You might marry a certain particular family into a certain particular family because they got a land in an area that you know is going to be advantageous to your people. You might marry so that you could be of a position, a certain position, man. That's why you had it to where, when Israel, the house of Israel was established, you would have had it to where they were marrying vice versa, so they could have certain military advantages, man. Okay, and you watch these old time movies, they show you all of these different things, man. But see, these people are willingly ignorant to these facts. Okay, but going back onto this. Okay, you was gonna have it too. Just like how you had it to where in Noah's time, you had people trying to amass eternal wealth. You got the same thing happening right now. Okay, you got it to where you're right there. You okay? Yeah, do you believe in the Bible? Yeah, do you know that you're Esau? Okay, right? Okay, so you had it to where they was trying to obtain a certain amount of eternal wealth. Okay, and you had it to where when the boat was being shot. Okay, that's when they realized, wait, hold on a minute. Noah was actually a step ahead of the game. Okay, and the truth is very prevalent, man. Okay, right? Because ultimately, old Jake wants to be rich. But if you're gonna go out there in the stock market, you go to where people are investing in oranges and this, that, and the third, and you know that the stock market is gonna crash tomorrow, and that rubbish bags is gonna be 100 million pounds. Where you gonna invest in rubbish bags, man? Okay, that goes to show you the mentality of someone that's forward thinking, and that's the thing that the men of the Lord are. They're forward thinking. Okay, here it is. You go to where Nate's trying to invest within Babylon. Okay, you go to Johanna's trying to invest within black culture. Okay, but we're investing in an eternal future, which is by coming out here and pushing this word, man. Because we all want to get rich, but it's where you're getting rich is where your eternal wealth is going to come from, and we're going to get those eternal riches by way of Yahweh Yahushua. Because when He's going to come down and crown His people, man, you ain't going to have to where Esau's going to come and he's going to come and start wars against us, and He's going to take our riches away from us. Okay. But that's what you're going to have from Nate, Johanna, etc., and all of the wicked amongst our people, LeBron James, whatever, man. All them people are going to be individuals where with the wealth that they have amassed within this society, they're going to lose it overnight, man. That's what Scripture says, what it says, man. Riches giveth themselves wings. But the riches that pertain to the men of the Lord, right, as pertaining to the Scriptures, because what does the Scripture say? The things that were revealed for us remain to us and our children forever and ever. So the understanding of the mechanics of these Scriptures, that belongs unto us. Okay? Right, and thereby having the mechanics and the understandings of this truth, we was going to become ultimately super rich, man. We was going to become super rich, and that wealth was going to be eternal, man. Okay, so let's get back onto this now. Within the book of Proverbs, the first chapter. Okay, no. Where was we? Okay, we finished 2 Peter's. Okay, we finished that. Okay. We're in Proverbs, and then we are in Isaiah, and then we're going to go back onto the book of Romans. Oh, no. We're also in, God damn it, hold a lot of scriptures, man. I'll see if I get through all of these scriptures, okay? Okay, so, Proverbs 1, and this is the 22nd verse. It says, how long ye simple ones will ye love simplicity, okay? And the scorners delight in scorning, and the fools hate knowledge, okay? We've seen that. Till the cities be laid waste within the book of Isaiah, the 6th chapter and 9th verse. This is the point now. 23rd verse. Turn you at my reproof, and behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. Okay? And that's because we read within the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. Okay? You're going to have certain individuals that were willingly ignorant, and they wasn't going to understand the truth of Yahweh Shemi outside. But see, if they was to turn at the reproof of the Most High, okay, if there was to turn into the reproof of Yahweh Shemi outside, okay, then you was gonna have to put the spirit, the abundant knowledge of these scriptures. Hey, what's up, man? All right, okay, word up, okay. All right, you're gonna have the abundance of these scriptures be manifested unto them, okay, and that's what happened to the men of the Lord, okay. You was out there, you got cursed out, okay, you felt some type of way, okay. But you turn at the reproof of the Most High. You say, look, wait, hold on a minute. I know this offends me, okay? All right? But ultimately, I can see there's some truth about it. And ultimately, when you go past that kind of see some truth about it, you get to the point where you're just like, look, this is it, man. There's no other means of obtaining the kingdom other than the ways that you've been shown by way